More breaking news out of the NFL. Joe Flacco has been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. That's right. Joe Flacco has been traded to the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay. The Bengals, they have been struggling this season. Browns haven't really been doing any better ever since Joe Burrow has been injured. The Bengals, they just really been on a decline. They've been on a decline, but now they're picking up 40-year-old Joe Flacco. He's going to be their quarterback. So the Browns quarterback, they got Dylan Gabriel. He's still going to be number one. Shador Sanders, he's the new backup quarterback number two over there in Cleveland. So I think this is a good trade for the Bengals to do just to kind of get back rolling. And then, Joe Flacco, he'll have some new wide receivers that he's going to be throwing to. I like it, actually. That's why I got this pick in the back. I like this. Go over there, Joe, do your thing, and let this be the last season that you ever do. Because if he gets traded to the Steelers, then he's going to have play for the whole NFC North. So everybody's going to really be getting a chance for him. And not only that, the Browns beat the Packers the previous Sunday. Now the Packers play the Bengals this Sunday. So the Packers are going to be seeing Joe Flacco again. Michael Parsons on the other side on the defensive end. Now he's going to be seeing Joe Flacco again in an orange uniform, another orange uniform. But the Bengals, I like it, y'all. I like it. I like it. Let's read a little bit about it and see what the outcome is going to play and who gets who gets what, who gets what. Bengals trade for Browns quarterback Joe Flacco in wake of Joe Burrow injury. Joe, you need to get you got to get a little bit better because you've definitely been on the decline. You really have. Joe, get a little bit better. Get a little bit better. The Cincinnati Bengals have traded for Cleveland Browns quarterback Joe Flacco. The Browns will also send a 2026 round draft pick to the Bengals and receive a 2026 fifth round pick in return. The Browns confirmed the trade on Tuesday. The Bengals make the move as their season has spiraled in the aftermath of a toe injury that expected to sideline franchise quarterback Joe Burrow for most of the season. Burrow sustained the injury in week 2. Yeah, they do need another quarterback over there with the Bengals. I'm not even gonna cap. I don't know all their quarterbacks over there besides Big Man Joe. Big Man Joe. That's all I know. But now they got Joe Flacco. And then they office probably like, hey, let's just bring in another Joe. Joe Burrow is hurt. Let's bring in old veteran age Joe Flacco in here. And that's what they did. I like this. I like it. I like it. Let's keep going. With backup Jake Browning at quarterback, the Bengals have lost 48-10 to the Vikings, 28-3 to the Broncos, and 37-24 to the Lions as an offense projected as one of the league's best has gone stagnant. It quickly became apparent that the Bengals could not remain competitive with Browning, and they discussed multiple options at quarterback. The Athletics' Diana Rossini reports they did not call the Giants about trading for Jameis Winston or Russell Wilson per the report. You guys should have did that. You should have. Jackson Dart, he's going to be starting more games. Russell, he's sitting on the sideline. Jameis Wilson is right there with him. They conversating every day about their wives, about their kids, about them not being on the field. They definitely discussing it. They could have called them. You could have called Kirk Cousins over there in where's he at? He's still in Atlanta. Y'all could have called him. He need to be out there playing some games too. They got Penix. That's the quarterback. I would say Marcus Mariota, but he with Washington. There was some other names out there that they could have called and wanted, but they chose Joe. That's what it is. Flacco and 18 Woo, y'all. 18 season NFL veteran who started for most of his career will presumably take over as Cincinnati's starting quarterback once he's acclimated to his new team. As a result of the trade, the Bengals also released backup quarterback Brett Rypien. Okay, so the Browns are left with 2 rookie quarterbacks on a depth chart. Flacco rejoined the Browns this season after playing in 2024 for the Colts. On a roster with rookie quarterbacks Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders, Flacco was named the starter before the season and started Cleveland's first 4 games. Okay. The Browns demoted Flacco in favor of Gabriel after a 1-3 start for a Week 5 game against the Vikings. They've now traded Flacco to a division rival in exchange for a late-round pick swap. Per ESPN, this is the first trade between the Bengals and the Browns since the Browns returned to the NFL in 1999. Okay, so like I said, now that they have Dillon Gabriel, he's in there. He's going to be the quarterback. And of course, Shador backing him up whenever he gets injured out there on the field. Whoopity-doo, whatever. I think they'll win some more games. They got to prep Gabriel a little bit more. It's still early in the season. We're not really that far deep within the season. There's still plenty of games to go. Ain't no telling what other games they're going to win. But Dillon Gabriel, I'm sure he'll be on track with winning as many games for the Cleveland Browns as possible. Because y'all a little quiet hush team too. Y'all not out there. But maybe he can bring that spark, back to the team. Sanders was the number 3 quarterback on Cleveland's depth chart. Now he's the only active quarterback on Cleveland's roster behind Gabriel. The Browns traded veteran Kenny Pickett to Las Vegas Raiders in the preseason, and they still have Deshaun Watson, who's recovering from a second rupture of his Achilles tendon. Yep. So, they're putting, and they're speaking of the other guys that are backups and are the quarterbacks regarding them. They traded Kenny Pickett to the Raiders. Deshaun Watson, he's still trying to recover from his Achilles, that he was dealing with. So who's left? Shador and Gabriel. They're the only 2 left. So might as well make one of them the starting quarterback. And we want to see Shador out there. People want to see Shador play. They do. They want to see him play a little bit more. I'll say that. They want to see him play a little bit more. So maybe they can throw some plays in there where Shador is that quarterback for maybe the first 10 plays of a drive. Let him do that. Everybody want to see him. We've seen how he was in college with Colorado. Let's see him perform even more greatness with the Browns as the quarterback. So hopefully they can have that decision and put him out there on the field sometime. Can Bengals compete for AFC North with Flacco? The question in Cincinnati now becomes, can Flacco save their season? The Bengals were projected to compete for a playoff spot before the season, but are now 2-3 after a 2-0 start with Burrow under center. The AFC North, meanwhile, is unexpectedly up for grabs amid the stunning 1-4 start by the preseason division favorite and Super Bowl hopeful Baltimore Ravens. That's right, y'all asses lost. The 3-1 Pittsburgh Steelers are in first place in the division, while the Bengals sit in second place ahead of 1-win Browns and Ravens. That division is all over the place. It's all over the place. Ain't no telling who's going to come out here, okay? So the stats that Joe Flacco, he's had, I guess, previously with the Bengals, or he's obtaining now, bringing it over from the Browns. He has 203.8 yards passing games. His percentage-wise is 58.1. Pass touchdowns 2, interceptions 6, and his quarterback rating is 60.3. That's not good. Those are some nasty and horrible stats. So, hey, maybe they can help him bring those stats up. Maybe he can bring those stats up a little bit more since he's going to be with the Bengals now. Hopefully he can bring it up more. At the same time, the Browns traded for Flacco for a pittance to a rival for a reason. Cleveland's offense was not good with Flacco and didn't score more than 17 points in any of his first starts. Flacco, 40, completed 58.1 of his passes for 5.1 yards per attempt, with 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Those are dreadful numbers for an NFL quarterback and not remotely fitting of a starter. That's right. But I already know y'all going to start him as the main quarterback because Joe Burrow is out. And y'all not worried about the others. Not really. Because if you were, you would have gave them an opportunity to do it. But the Bengals have seen enough of Browning. 64.5% completion rate, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, as offensive weapons Jamar Chase, T. Higgins and Chase Brown have largely been regulated to relevance with him at quarterback. They're apparently hoping for a revival of a competent quarterback play that Flacco demonstrated in 2023 and 2024 as a part-time starter with the Browns and Colts. So they're hoping he can bring some of that magic to Cincinnati. I hope so too. It would be a great thing if he could bring it to Cincinnati. It would be a great thing, you know? I think that, like I said, I think this is a good idea with Joe Flacco going over there to the Bengals. So now the Bengals will possibly be able to win more games than what they have now. You know, they'll be able to win more games, get things more a little under control. Um, you know, possibly have a little bit better season. But if you guys like this, comment down below what you think. Like the video, share this too with anyone and everyone that you know. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button and turn your notification bell on. That way you can be notified every time I drop videos on this channel. If that is all, I will see you guys later. Peace.